Greetings, my friends. It's your boy, B Freezy, back with another scintillating episode of Dirty Vision Sports, the place for intelligent sports talk. Guys, now we got to get right into this breakdown, the review, the recap of this past weekend's undisputed lightweight championship between Devin the Dream Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. It was an incredible fight, great fight. As a matter of fact, it's kind of too bad that it's being overshadowed by the controversy surrounding it. But it was a great fight. So let's get right into it. No need for extracurricular rhetoric. We're going to get right into this fight. Now, again, this fight was sensational, man. It was like two high-level guys, highly skilled, two elites. Basically, we'll just put it like that. Two elites, plain and simple. One, an aging legend that showed he still got plenty in the tank, which I said in my fight preview, wondering why everybody was sleeping on Lomachenko. That was insane to me. He showed he still has it. And that's pretty much what I said. And it was great to see the dynamic of a young star, Devin Haney, matched up with the veteran Lomachenko with all the tricks, all the experience, all the ring IQ. And it played out great. It was a great competitive fight. But it was definitely controversy involved. So let's get into that. Now, a lot of people are calling this a robbery. Was that a robbery? No. Was it a controversial decision? Yes. Definitely a controversial decision because the fight was really hard to score. It was extremely hard to score. If I break down how I scored it, I had it 5 rounds for Devin Haney, 5 rounds for Lomachenko, and I had 2 rounds that were complete swing rounds that could have went either way. That's how I saw it. That's my opinion. That's what it looked like from my eyes. Now, that's pretty much right down the middle. In the pre-fight video, I said this was a 50-50 fight. 50-50, right down the middle. And that's what I called it. Now, nobody wants to ride the middle of the fence. What's the use in doing this if you're not going to make a pick? I said if I was forced to make a choice to pick a winner, I would have to lean with the slightest of tilts, just the slightest of tilts, right? To Devin Haney based on the youth, the size, the skills, and the athleticism. But it was a 50-50 fight. And in my opinion, it played out a 50-50 fight. The way I broke it down was, again, 5 rounds Haney, 5 rounds Loma, 2 swing rounds, could go either way. So with that being said, if you had it 115, 113 Devin Haney, I see that. If you had it 115, 113, Lomachenko, I see that. If you had it 114, 114, with one of those swing rounds going to Loma and one going to Haney, and you had a 114, 114 draw, I see that too. This fight was that close and that difficult to score. Now, the 116, 112, either way, that's hogwash. I ain't see that. I didn't see that. Everybody has their rights to an opinion. That's why we do these videos. That's why I like comments and feedback, because I respect everybody's opinion. And I learn from a lot of the feedback and the viewers and people's input. But I can see 115 Haney, I can see 115 Loma, and I can see 114 a draw. So it was controversial. The only thing is for sure is, in my opinion, is they got to run that back. Devin Haney has to run that back. I know he likes getting the respect from people. He seems like he listens to the noise a lot. He's paying attention to what people say about him, what people think about him. He lets that affect him, in my opinion, from what I've seen. In my opinion, he's going to want to run this back to prove that he is better. He feels he beat Lomachenko. A lot of people don't. I already told you what I felt about it. But he's got to run that back to solidify it, to really prove, not just to the people, but to him, that he really won that fight. It's got to get ran back because Lomachenko, although give Devin Haney props, he gave Lomachenko that fight. We all know Lomachenko's a legend. I couldn't believe people were underestimating and snoozing on Loma, but Loma's a legend. Devin Haney gave him that opportunity to fight for those belts, which is saying a lot. Devin Haney, you can say what you want. The dude is down to fight anybody. He showed he had some heart, some scrap, some dog in him, which was what I didn't know. I didn't doubt it, but I had to see it. You know, he showed me a lot of things in this fight, but one thing he didn't show me is that he is definitively better than Lomachenko, that he definitively beat Lomachenko. I think that's obviously without a controversy. That's what's up in the air right now. But Loma deserves a rematch, and Devin Haney needs to rematch him to solidify and prove that he is who the people say he is. You know, I thought it was a great fight on both ends. I thought both guys did great things. I was highly entertained. I'm not taking nothing away from either one of them. I enjoyed it. I'm completely objective. I'm a fan of both. I don't have a dog in the fight or a horse in the race. I'm just telling you what I see and what I feel. And I was thrilled to see such a high-level, tactical, beautiful fight from both guys. And a lot of times when there's matchups between very technical, skilled guys, people think it's going to be boring. The general consensus, it'll be a boring matchup, these guys. But this was sensational because this was two high-level, elite, skilled, intelligent guys that were fighting. They were fighting. They were scrapping it out. And it was a great fight. The fans won. Too bad the controversy is overshadowing what a great fight it is. So in that case, the only thing to do is run it back. I guarantee you they run it back. Whatever the pay-per-view numbers and however much money they made, they run it back, they'll make 2, 3, 4 times more than that. Because people want to see what's going to happen. People want to see the adjustments that are going to get made. And people just want to see just a splendid fight between two elite fighters. Even if you thought Lomachenko won, you can't deny it was a fight. And Haney did some very good things. Even if you thought Haney won, you can't deny it was a fight. And Loma did a bunch of really good things. So with that being said, let's get into how the fight played out, in my opinion, what I saw. We'll start with Devin Haney. Devin Haney started the fight, pressuring Lomachenko, moving forward. He worked behind his jab pretty well early, and he had success with that. One thing Devin Haney did really good was the body work. He did sensational body work throughout the fight from round 1 through round 12. He consistently did body work. And I think a lot of that great work to the body Devin Haney did went unappreciated by people in general. Whether you're a casual fan or a professional fighter or a professional opinionated person, Devin Haney's sensational body work went unappreciated and pretty much not acknowledged. He did great work to the body throughout the fight, and you can see that was part of his strategy, and he did execute on that part of the strategy. Another thing Devin Haney did really good in the earlier parts of the fight, all the way to the end, he did a great job of not letting Lomachenko's angles dictate the movement. A lot of times Lomachenko would throw combinations and he liked to slide off at angles, right? So basically, the regular fighter's still in front of him and Lomachenko's done angled off and punching the guy in the side of the head before he knows what happens while he's still facing forward. Every time Loma slipped off to an angle, Devin Haney was able to turn with him. Loma angles off this way, Devin Haney turns in him. So when he's turning with Lomachenko's angles, he's keeping Lomachenko in front of him, right? And Lomachenko, usually when he angles off, he's got open shots on the guy because the guy's still facing a different direction after Loma angles up on him. But Devin Haney was able to turn, keep Loma in front of him, and this posed challenges for Lomachenko, especially in the early portion of the fight. That's the thing, when you got two elite guys, two top guys, you're not going to be able to just impose your will and do what you want. And I think we saw a lot of that. Now, as the fight went on, I think what Devin Haney should have done to get more resounding results and to really solidify these rounds so that there wouldn't be controversy or to further tip it in his balance. I mean, the judges said he won. Public opinion says the other says something else. The only thing that counts is the judges' scorecards. Ultimately, it was definitely controversial, but in order for him to solidify and win some of those rounds stronger, I think he should have boxed more. He should have moved a little more just to reset Loma, change the real estate, change the scenery, and reset, make Loma start all over again. Because if you notice, when he pressed and worked behind his jab, he had success. But a lot of times, he was just coming in on Loma, not jabbing, and that plays into Loma's strengths. Loma was able to get off the combinations on him and get up out of there before Devin Haney could really get in any effective shots. Now, a lot of Loma's combinations weren't all scoring, but they looked good, and he was busy, and he was throwing combinations. Now, that being said, too, none of them really rocked Devin Haney, never really hurt him, but they were scoring punches. If he was throwing 3 and 4 shot combinations, 1, 2, or 3 of those were hitting a lot of times. Did they have a lot of effect and stopping power? No, but they were scoring. So with Devin Haney, I think the more he pressed as the fight went on, again, I thought he should have boxed and moved more because you got to keep Loma off guard. You can't keep doing the same thing. And I think he fought off his back foot actually better than he did pressing forward in a lot of instances, because a lot of times, like I just said, he was coming forward and not really coming behind his jab. And why are you doing that? Because you're giving up your biggest attributes, right? Is your length and your height. And when you press forward on Loma and not jabbing, not stabilizing and controlling that distance, you walking right into his traps that he wants to get off combos. So I thought Devin Haney did really well as far as controlling the angles, and his body work was sensational. I don't think he did that great a job with controlling distance, whether it was up the strategy or whatever. And another thing that I didn't really get was he gave up his height advantage a lot. You heard his dad say in the corner, "I want you to get down, get down." Okay, in boxing, you got to change levels. Sometimes you fight tall, you get low, you down. You change your levels to keep people off guard. It's another look. And if you keep doing the same thing with Loma, he's going to figure you out, as we saw in the second half of the fight. But getting down, when you're getting down against a shorter fighter, you're giving up your height advantage. That's part of the reason why I lean slightly towards Devin Haney, was for the physical attributes, along with the skills and athleticism. But if you're giving up your height by staying down at Loma's range, at Loma's level, the whole night, then there goes your height advantage, and in essence, a lot of your reach advantage. When he did fight behind the jab, he had success. Even when he was fighting off his back foot and jabbing, he had success. But when he was just coming straight in with no jabs, he was walking right into Loma's traps and Loma's combos. So that's what I think Devin Haney did good. And those are the things I think he could have changed to get a more solidified outcome for him. Now let's go to Loma. As far as Loma goes, his footwork is sensational. And I think that's the thing too. Devin Haney, I say he didn't really control distance, but was it he didn't control distance, or was it what Loma was doing with his footwork? I think it was a little bit of Devin not being able to control distance, but I think it was a lot of Loma, his footwork being so great, Devin Haney couldn't control it. Do you know what I mean? Because Loma, footwork is so good, he can be in and out before you even know it. You can think you're at distance, and he can be in, or he could angle off and come in. All the things he was doing, angling off, throwing double left hands. Like, those are things that nobody sees from anybody, from any sparring partner, from anybody, unless you're actually in the ring with Loma. So I think, in a fight like this, there's aspects where guys want to do something, but the other guy's just so skilled and so good. These are elites, two elites, that they're not going to let you have your way. So I think Loma's footwork, he still showed he's got the best footwork in the game, hands down. That's what allowed him to move in and out, Loma controlled distance. Loma fought that fight at his distance. Do you see what I'm saying? That was Loma's. He forced Devin Haney into fighting his fight. Some of it was Devin Haney chose to by staying low at Loma's level and walking in a lot, not behind a jab. But some of it was just Loma, even when Haney was trying to control distance, taking that away, just with footwork. So Loma's footwork was phenomenal. Loma's a good combination puncher. This played into it with him controlling distance and Haney not being able to establish distance consistently. Loma was able to get in, get his combos off. He's a great combination puncher, while Devin Haney's not. Devin Haney's not a combination puncher. Devin Haney's got a great jab, and he pot shots behind that jab. In this fight, he was jabbing, and pot shotting to the body. Very effective body work, right? Devin Haney also got off some good lefts. He didn't get off enough straight rights, though. He didn't get off enough straight rights, and I think that would have boded well for Devin Haney, too. But I think Lomachenko fought about as good a fight as he could have fought. I can't say that there was things that he could have done that he didn't do. The only thing I can say is I think he could have got started sooner. I think even for people that don't like Devin Haney or didn't think he won, have to acknowledge Devin Haney did win a lot of those early rounds. I had him winning 3 out of the first 4 and 4 out of the first 6. That's how I saw it. So you have to acknowledge that Devin Haney, even if you thought he lost, the rounds that he did win, and even if you thought he lost, you know he won some rounds, were the early ones, right? And I thought Loma really needed to get off early, like not have moments in those rounds or portions of those rounds. He really needed to take those rounds and establish those early, and he didn't do that. Say what you want, he didn't do that. He didn't dominate and control those early rounds like he did, say, round 10 and 11, right? When he got in his bag, when he was really timed up, when he kept seeing Haney kind of doing the same thing. There were adjustments being made throughout, but as far as like at that point, rounds 10 and 11, when Haney was pressing, Loma was giving him work with combos, right? He had that all figured out at that point. But early in the fight, maybe Lomachenko was prepared for whatever. I think both of them are talented enough, knowledgeable enough to prepare for almost every scenario that's conceivable. But I don't think Loma was prepared for Devin Haney coming forward, trying to walk him down early. And that's something that he had to adjust, figure out, and not be careless about. That's why I think a rematch would be so great, because we'll get to see the adjustments that are getting made. The way the fight will be different. Man, that'd be sensational, because Loma really just has to jump in there. That's why I think he could have done more and solidified and took early rounds instead of letting them go to Haney or be questionable. Okay, he didn't do that. Now, was it because he wasn't able to, or wasn't he had to process things? He had to figure it out early. But again, just like Loma didn't let Devin Haney control distance, Devin Haney's an elite pro too. He wasn't letting Loma just get off early. He was really working his jab and the body work. I can't say enough about that body work. It's going unappreciated and underestimated. And a couple times early, a couple times in a fight, Devin Haney got off just some body shots, boom, that just stopped Loma in his tracks. If you notice it, but he kept coming. But it was some body shots straight to the gut that you could see stalled Loma out just briefly before he kept coming. Loma's a dog. He's going to fight through everything. Devin Haney showed a lot of dog in him too. And I was happy to see that, because we'd never seen him in a fight. This was a fight. And he showed he's down to scrap. He's down to go to work. Controversial decision, yes. But those are things that I had questions about Devin Haney that he showed me that I saw. Now, the one thing I didn't see was him convincingly beating Lomachenko. Like I said, either way you have it, 115, 113 for Devin, 115, 113 for Loma, 114, 114 tie. It was not convincing. Either way for me, they got to run that back. They got to run that back. But again, I think, Loma, if they would fight again, Loma would have to come out and just get the fighting early. Sometimes, man, all the technical, all the thought, all that stuff's got to go out the window. When you fighting for 4 belts, this is a couple of your last hurrahs going down because you're 35. You got to go get it. Very similar to Hearns and Hagler. I'm not saying get into a all-out Donnybrook like that, but there has to be some early a need, an early need to press that to get it cracking. Not desperation, but you got to get into it early. Caution's got to be damned. And he was walking through a lot of Haney shots to get his shots off. So, he waited a couple few rounds, 2 or 3 rounds too many, in my opinion, before he actively started just getting to it. And I think if Loma would have got to it early from the get-go, like he did in rounds 10 and 11, that would have turned the tide for him. That would have bode well for him and solidified the fight for him. But again, it's not about what Loma wanted to do. It was about what Devin Haney was letting him do or allowing him to do, just like it wasn't about what Haney wanted to do. It was about, a lot of times, what Loma was allowing him to do. Got 2 elites, man, at the highest level. I just enjoyed the fight. It's too bad the controversy is overshadowing what a good fight it was. The only thing for him to do is run it back. You got to run it back. Devin Haney's got to run that back to show that he's the better fighter. If that's what and that's in his mind, I'm sure it is, he's got to run it back. Because it was close. It was controversial. I get that. Lomachenko deserves that run back. Because he did work, and Devin Haney did not clearly beat him. I don't think he clearly beat Devin Haney either. I think it was up in the air. Take your pick. It was 50-50, like I said, going in. The judge's decision made my prediction right, but I ain't taking no credit for that. That could have went either way, man. Like I said, 115, 113, Devin Haney. Could have been 115, 113, Loma. 114, 114, a draw. Take your pick, but we got to see that again, man. With that being said, just congrats to both fighters, man. I was thrilled. I loved it. I appreciate both of those champions, both of those elite level fighters, and I got to see it again. So let me know what you guys think, man. I know it's going to be a lot of comments, a lot of opinions. I get it. I'm objective. I want to hear what you got to say. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this community. Point out some things in these videos that other people might not be saying or angles they may not be looking at. But please like and subscribe, share. Definitely comment, because I learned a lot from the comments. Appreciate the feedback. I know it's going to be comments ranging from all over the spectrum about who won, this, that, and the third. So to that I say, the only thing we can do is run it back. Appreciate you. Dirty Vision Sports. Like, subscribe, tap in. We'll be back with another one. Thank you.